Spanish vowel pronunciation. Pronunciación de los vocales en español. ¿Cuáles son los vocales en inglés y en español? Los vocales son los siguientes: A, E, I, O, U, Y a veces. Which are the vowels in English and Spanish? The vowels are the following: A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. In this presentation, the slides will first describe how each particular vowel is pronounced in the different ways in English. Under each English example, you will see pronounced this way phrase or a never pronounced this way phrase. The purpose of showing English pronunciations is for you to see common mispronunciation errors made by English speakers. Make sure to pay close attention to the second slide of the same vowel because this focuses on the Spanish pronunciation and gives examples in Spanish. A, or A. The vowel A in English will have several different pronunciations. For example, short A sound, such as in the words cat or apple. Never is this pronounced this way in Spanish. You also have a long A sound in English, such as in the words day or date. The A in Spanish is also never pronounced this way. Then we have the A sound, such as in the word father or in the word yacht. And we will pronounce the A this way in Spanish. So the vowel A or A in Spanish will have one pronunciation, unless in a diphthong, which is in a later discussion. For example, the A sound, such as in the words father or yacht. The Spanish examples, la cama, which is bed, or el baño, which is bathroom. Next, we come across the vowel E, or A in Spanish. The vowel E in English will have several different pronunciations as well. For example, we will have a short E sound, such as in the words let or desk, and in Spanish we'll pronounce it this way, as an S sound. Then we have a long E sound, such as in the words sleep or leader, and in Spanish we never pronounce it this way. Also, be sure to be careful about an E that comes before an R. Typically, the E sound before an R, such as in the word order or fertile, we have a sound, but in Spanish you never have the sound. It's never pronounced that way. So whenever we pronounce the E or A in Spanish, it will have one pronunciation as well, unless it's in a diphthong. And for example, the short E sound, such as in the word let or desk, we have Spanish examples, la tele, for TV or television, or el ejemplo, for example. Our third vowel is the I, or E, in Spanish. The vowel I in English will have several different pronunciations. For example, the short I sound, such as in the word pit or whip, it's never pronounced as the I sound in Spanish. Then we come across the long I sound, such as in the words light or hike, and it's never pronounced this way either in Spanish as the long I sound. We come across the E sound that imitates the long E sound, such as in our English word elite or trio. And we do pronounce the I this way, as in elite or in trio. So the vowel I or E in Spanish will have one pronunciation, of course, unless it's in a diphthong, and it mimics the words elite or trio. So Spanish examples, sí, or el vino, which means wine. Next, we come across the O. The vowel O in English will have several different pronunciations. For example, we have a short O sound, as in the words stop or lot. It's never pronounced as an A in Spanish. We do come across a long O sound, such as in the word no or obey. It is pronounced this way, but make sure in Spanish that's a little bit more rounded and a little bit crisper than the typical no or obey. It's not as long of a sound. The O sound that makes the oo sound, as in stoop or fool, when you have the double O, it's never pronounced this way in Spanish. So the vowel O in Spanish will have one pronunciation unless it's in a diphthong, and so it's going to be the long O sound, as in the words know or obey. However, remember that it's going to be a little bit rounded and a little bit crisper. So pay close attention as I'm pronouncing the two Spanish examples, so that way you'll be able to pronounce it correctly as well. Solo, which means alone, or solamente, which would mean only, or pronto, which would mean soon. Notice how the O is a little bit rounded and it's a little bit crisper. It's not as drawn out as our English no. We come across the vowel U or U in English, which will have two pronunciations in English. And the U sound that imitates the U sound, as in lunar or hoop, it is pronounced this way as a U sound in Spanish. However, we come across the typical U sound, as in the word ultra, under, or ugly. In Spanish, we never pronounce the U as an sound. So the vowel U or U in Spanish will have one pronunciation unless it's in a diphthong as well. So it's going to be pronounced as in the word lunar or in the word hoop. Although, no, there are no U's in the word hoop, however, it makes the same sound that we're trying to get across. So the Spanish examples of the U, tu, U, which is informal or familiar, or uno, which is the number one. Finally, we come across with the Y. Y is actually a consonant. However, just like in English, if there are no other vowels in the word, the Y will act as a vowel if there's not another vowel. So, for example, the Y sound that imitates the long E sound, as in the word penny or many, in the Spanish we will pronounce it this way, and we will pronounce it with the word E, or when acting as a vowel in another Spanish word, it will make a diphthong sound, which it will be in later discussions. The Y sound acting as a vowel, as in my or fly, it's never pronounced as an I in Spanish. So the consonant Y in Spanish, or E, griega, is going to act as a vowel, as we've already discussed, and it will imitate the Y as in the word penny, or the Y as in the word many. And once again, I made a comment on how it's going to act as a vowel in some words. Note that otherwise the Y will be pronounced just like the regular English Y is in the word yacht or yo-yo. Examples would be ayudar, to help, or desayunar, to eat breakfast. So make sure to know that Y is usually only pronounced, unless it's in a diphthong, it's only pronounced E whenever it's just the word Y by itself, and the Y by itself means and. I hope this helps with some of your pronunciation, and I hope that you'll see that all the other words will become a little bit clearer as you're pronouncing. So really quickly, let's look at the heading in the last slide on this page, and we're going to pronounce it as it should be in Spanish. Pronunciación de los vocales en español. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to see that the vowels we pronounce A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y will be pronounced this way.